I mentioned about Tim, Tillyer and myself developing into Vincit Developments and starting the projects that we've started. Now, very quickly, today, we're not called Vincit Developments anymore. We still are Vincit Developments. What happened was in about October time last year, roughly, I went through that space in my life of uncertainty. See, during the year, my brother was mentioning I knew that I was doing too many different things. So working with Faster Property Solutions, we were doing our own deals. Working with the Invest 500 group, I was doing deals with them. Working with Tim and Tillyer, with Vincit Developments, doing deals together. And I knew that I couldn't, I knew, when you want to sort of go into this rocket ship, and I just knew I couldn't be in this rocket ship because I'm going in one direction there, one direction there, one direction there. And quite frankly, I was scared. During the year, I knew I needed to do something about it, but I was scared of letting go because I was making money everywhere. I was doing well with all the different people I was working with and creating great relationships. But I got to that stage where I knew to achieve what I really want to achieve, it required being in one team. Because I really had this vision of being in this rocket ship. And I knew that that could not be fueled by me being in different places. So what happened is I started with a call with Tillyer one day, saying, look Tillyer, I've had this idea, I need to do this, I just need to know if you're with me. I knew he'd be with me because we know each other so well. And then we presented the idea to Tim, who threw a wobbly for about a week and was confronted. Tim is one of these sort of middle class, very comfortable guys, he doesn't really need money. And then suddenly we presented this big vision to him about what we want to do and how we want to change the world. But he's on board now, and that gave birth to the Vincit Group. And the reason why we actually changed, and that's the three different directions we were going in. Harinder, my brother over there, who spoke earlier, he's actually my twin brother, 3 minutes older than me. And this is one of the wonderful things about duality. We're twins, yet we're completely opposite to each other. He's always been this really focused, he's an optician, so you've got to be focused, don't you, I suppose? So he's an optician, but he's very focused, disciplined, organised, and I've been self-employed all my life, so you pick up a few bad habits. So I've always been disorganised, not disciplined, sort of doing things when I feel like doing them. And I realised that, gosh, if I can achieve what I've achieved just by sort of winging it, imagine what could happen if I really focused, really created this one team and really created a big vision about what we want to do. And it was with the help of Harinder, actually, because of his skills and his vision, that helped us sort of really go into one direction and form the Vincit Group. And there's your rocket. Thanks, Tillyer. So, why the Vincit Group? We got together back in October and really started asking ourselves, why are we actually doing this business? And we spent days doing this, days and days working on this together in Tim's boardroom, just in the quietness of ourselves. And we all started realizing that we actually want to make a difference. Why do we do all these things? We actually really want to make a difference. Harinder started an eye care charity, I think 10 plus years ago, called Vision Care. It's won charity awards. It's very high profile. I think they've got 4 centres now. They basically provide eye care for homeless people. And he's always had a passion for making a difference in the third world because he's done so much here. Tillier's got a passion with the Basket Brigade. Some of you might have heard of Anthony Robbins, who set up something called the Basket Brigade, where every Christmas a whole lot of volunteers come together with donations. They put together all these hampers and give them to the less privileged. Tim's been working with a charity called Chess in Schools. Tim was dyslexic as a child, and as many of you know, it never gets diagnosed appropriately, had a lot of difficulty at school, and chess is something that really helps you think laterally, helps you think differently to conventional thinking. So he found chess as a very good therapy for himself. So he was teaching chess, or still does teach chess as a volunteer, and is affiliated with this charity called Chess in Schools. So what we decided is that we're going to form the Vincit Foundation, and every year we're going to donate money to the foundation, and we're starting with 5% this year, and then 10, and then 15, and then 20, and in 10 years we're going to be giving away 50% of what Vincit Group makes to the foundation. And as soon as we started talking about that, the crazy thing, this is not about the money. When we started talking about all this, everyone started lighting up. And suddenly it was like when the attention's taken away from you and me and me and me, suddenly you start having a bigger purpose in life. It's magical, absolutely magical. Now Vincit Developments is a vehicle that provides funding for the Vincit Foundation. Now we're actually doing these deals with a different passion. It's not about how much money we're going to make, but how much difference can we make. It's amazing. So we're going to make even more money. Not only because we have to, but we want to. We want to make a big difference in the planet. And that's what we're all about now. And that's what the birth of the Vincit Foundation was about. So the bigger vision. To become a major contributor to causing a shift in consciousness on the planet by allowing individuals to make the impossible possible. A world living in harmony, empowering people to live a life they love. You know, the world that we want is a world where you can get on a plane and not worry about it being blown up. A world where you can sit around a group of people like this, all from different cultures, different backgrounds, and be in harmony. Imagine that world. Imagine what could be produced with that world. There's organizations already that are involved in those kind of thinking. Imagine if we did that collectively as a race. What would be possible? I mean, for me, it's unimaginable. Unimaginable that people can sit around a room, because look, ultimately we all know as human beings, all we are is source of love. That's all each one of us are. It's just unfortunate that the challenges and the obstacles that we create for ourselves in our lives mean that the focus goes away from giving to getting. But we all know the satisfaction that you get when you give. We've all experienced it. Every single person in this room will have had an experience where you unconditionally give, and the satisfaction it gives is priceless. But we want to do that more, not less. I don't want it to be just a once a week thing that I do now, where you go out and do charity work. So the Vincit Foundation, supporting orphans in India, that's the Basket Brigade, the chess in schools. That's the wonderful team there. Thierry, my brother, myself, that's my son Rowan, that's my nephew who... See, this is the great thing about team. When I actually started letting go, now I had a meeting with Pav today. I have nothing to do with our portfolio. Nothing. I have no idea who our tenants are now. And it was funny because we found this pad in the office where I used to note down all the different rents that I used to collect. And now we've got this software that I don't even know how to operate it, called Landlord Vision. The beautiful thing is, so Pav, over the last year, completely started managing the whole part of the portfolio. Now we've created such a big vision, I needed him to be doing a lot of my PA work and supporting me with our bigger vision. So now Rowan joined us back in October, and he started now managing our portfolio more and more and more. So whereas Pav used to go up to Leeds, today Rowan went up to Leeds with my brother without Pav. It was amazing to sort of see how that progresses and how he's flourishing. And this guy, Rowan, up to a few months ago, didn't have a clue what he wanted to do. Didn't have a clue. After he finished his studies in June last year, said to me, Dad, look, just give me a few months off, he's a golfer, right? So we both play golf, but he's a very good golfer. So he played golf all summer, and he started getting, I could see he was getting up late, and he didn't really know what he wanted to do, until I had this chat with him and Pav about what we really want to create out there in the world. And they said, look, we're with you. And that's what's happened since. 33 years of experience. We've got a bit of a background, so we've developed that. This is wonderful. Anyone heard of wealth dynamics? Yeah, a few people have heard of wealth dynamics. I only found out about this a few years ago. Wealth dynamics, just like we all have different personalities, right? Everyone's got a different personality. Everyone's got a different skill set, right? Wealth dynamics is basically a business tool to identify people's different skills from a business perspective. So from a wealth dynamics perspective, I'm what they call a creator star. And a creator star is someone who's good with people, he's good in front of a room, he has got great vision, great ideas, but they don't go anywhere. That was me. Great ideas about doing great things, but never being able to fulfill on them. I remember I was part of an organisation in Landmark, and we used to have this course called the Self-Expression and Leadership Program, and you had to do this project. and I'd have this great idea of the project, but I'd never fulfill on it because that's it. I've got the great ideas, but you need a team with you. So now we've got, if you look around there, Thierry is what they call a lord, Harinder is a supporter, deal maker, there's Tim there who's the trader. We basically support each other in a skill set. It's not just enough to be getting on with each other. So you need to be able to find a team that supports and complements each other in terms of skill set and also in terms of personality. Both things are really, really important. That's what we've managed to do. You can do what I cannot do, I can do what you cannot do, together we can do great things. Mother Teresa. This was a workshop that you were at the workshop. So this was a workshop we did back in January, where we had a whole day. I think there was about 60 odd people there. Who the objective of the workshop was to start finding a group of people that we can work with closely, who can source for us. You see, one thing again is about spreading that team. We can't be everywhere all the time. Now we've got, I think, 20 odd people out of that workshop who are sourcing for us. Alex is one of them. All of these people are in different parts of London. So now we've got eyes and ears all over London. What they can rely on is our skill and expertise, right? Alex will have a deal that he sees, and we have a deal clinic every Monday, a webinar every Monday. So all the people come on who are sourcing for us, they come on this webinar on Mondays, talk about the deal that they've seen, we talk about it. If there's any support that they need, we provide that support. This is all about helping everybody achieve. So there's people there who probably have just started out. I think, Alex, you've just started out, right? A
couple of months.
Right, so there's people there of all different degrees of experience, but suddenly they know that they can start looking at deals that they could never have dreamt of looking at before. So that workshop was about teaching people specifically off-market strategy, where you're actually finding deals that are not on the market and looking at how to create win-win situations. It was about how to do the due diligence for those deals, and that was great. So that's it really. Different ways that you might want to work with us. You could be someone who can source deals for us. So if you're really good at sourcing deals, that could be something that you could do for commission or potential joint ventures. Surinder here is someone that I've only met a few months ago. You know, David mentioned earlier he's got a wealth of experience, and he has. And more importantly than his wealth of experience is the passion that the guy has. You know, constantly on the move, constantly looking at deals. Now, I know that I can't do that. It's just not something I do. But the fact that I know that he is there and he's going to bring a deal to the table. We nearly did one last month. Didn't happen in the end for whatever reason. But he brought the deal to the table. We then can work together. He doesn't want to do it just for sourcing commission. He wants to do it for more than that. So we get together, we work out a solution, right? And that's what we want to do with more and more people. So you might be someone who might want to work with us in that way. You might have a project that requires funding or experience. Many a time you might see a deal out there that either is just too big for you or too complicated for you, and it could work with our experience and funding possibly. So that's an opportunity for exploring how we might be able to work together. You might have funds or know who someone has funds. There's never going to be enough money in the pot. That was one of the key things. When Harinder started working with us and started speaking to more and more investors about putting money into our business, initially I thought this is a foreign concept for me because I've only ever done property with my own money. Now we suddenly have this opportunity with working with so many different people and doing so many more deals than we could ever have dreamt of before. So if you know someone that's got funds, or you've got funds and you want to explore how we could work together, that's something that we could do. We've got a position available at the moment for someone to do due diligence. We've tentatively have got someone, but it's not finalised. So obviously, as all this structure and team grows, we're going to need more and more expertise. So one of the things we are looking for at the moment is a full-time person who can do due diligence. So as deals come in, we will teach that person how to do that, but you'd actually do the due diligence. You need to be a people person, you need to be able to talk to agents, you need to be able to work with Excel and have a competent knowledge of Excel to be able to do that. You don't necessarily need property experience, but knowledge with Excel, advanced Excel is essential, and being comfortable with talking to people is also very important. You might want to participate in the Vincit Foundation. One of the things I'm really, really clear about is we don't want to reinvent the wheel. So if you think there's an opportunity to work together, please come and see us. I need to finish up now. Have we finished now? Is this the last slide? It is? Great. So, sorry, I think I've obviously overrun. I was being given the chop there, which is quite rightly I should be. So, I hope you found that valuable. Thank you very much.
Great.